What's up, guys? I'm the Retro Nerd, and do you guys happen to know what time it is? Because my watch says it's Clobberin time! And that's exactly what time it is, and we're playing some Clayfighters for the Super Nintendo. If you guys don't know what Clayfighters is, it's the claymation style fighting game made by Interplay. It was a very unique alternative to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter because of the style that it was done in. Because, you know, it's claymation. Sort of reminds you of the old school, like Gumby and you know, some King Kong. Because, you know, although you did do some claymation for King Kong and stuff like that, but, you know, it's just the old school style of like Gumby, where everything was made out of clay and you had to move everything piece by piece. Well, of course, that's not how, I believe that's not how they did it. They just designed it in the style to make it look like it was claymation. I could be wrong. Who knows if they sculpted all these fucking characters like that, and they each is a different position and programmed it. Who knows? But anyways, let's get into some of this, into some Clayfighters. So, as you can tell, I'm playing as the Blob, my favorite character of the series besides Taffy. But if we're playing the N64 version, I have to go with Earthworm Jim. Yeah, Earthworm Jim is actually in the N64 version. Hidden, I don't know if, I think he's in the director's cut version, or is he a hidden character? I don't know. I've done everything when I had the N64 version to try to unlock him. I couldn't unlock him. It was just like pissing me off. I was like, what the fuck? But I know in the N64 version you got Earthworm Jim, Booger Man, and like Santa Claus, like the hidden characters of the series. It's kind of weird. Anyways, so as you can tell, I switched my character from the Blob to Tiny because I don't remember jack shit about this game or how to perform any moves, and pretty much I'm just button mashing the hell out of this. And I get lucky so many times with Tiny in the fights. I mean, that's how this game, like, that's how a lot of fighting games are done until, like, you get older and you're like, oh, I actually figured out how to do the Hadouken. You know, you hold these buttons and press these buttons, like, in this button, and ta-da, Hadouken, you know? That's how it goes. But, you know, back in the day when this came out, you know, we were all button mashers. Don't fucking lie, because none of your assholes knew how to do the move, so don't say you did. But, you know, I wish they made another Clayfighters, because it would have been awesome, but I could see how the like it died out, because the one for the N64 was very fucking terrible. They tried to do 3D graphics, have the background actually spin around. I mean, they just tried really hard with it, and it just flopped. And I mean, there's some people that like it. I personally love it and hate it at the same time, you know. So that's my personal feelings about it. Is like, I like it because it's like another game with Earthworm Jim in it. But I hate it at the same time because of the rotating, you know, scenery. It messes up like the gameplay and all that stuff. I don't know. It just seemed terrible to me. And it wasn't that great of graphics either. I mean, like, for the Super Nintendo, the claymation style looked, you know, okay. But when you put it on the N64 and try to keep doing that, it kind of just looks like bad 3D. I mean, everybody's seen Virtual Fighter, right? Hopefully you guys all played Virtual Fighter on the arcade. Remember how bad those, you know, that was actually good for its time, but you know how bad it probably looks now, where, you know, you're like, everything's a polygon and all that shit. That's pretty much the way it looked like for the N64 version. Like, yeah, everything was polished, but it's just like, it's like, it wasn't like touched up very well. I mean, it didn't look like the Super Nintendo version anymore, and you know that had its own quirkiness and you know funny attitude about it and stuff like that. And the N64 version is just like, here you go. Here's the game. It's the fighting game. I mean, yeah, it didn't really have a story, but I mean, damn, don't pretend like you don't have a fucking soul anymore. Jeez. I mean, the series just like sort of died after the N64 version. I mean, look at Killer Instinct. Look how many people kept that alive. I mean, we finally got a third one, or a reboot, as you can call it. But I mean, that stayed alive. But then again, even the N64 version was still solid. So this, you know, Super Nintendo version, you know, decent fighter, pretty fun to play. N64 version, yeah, forget about it. You know, might as well go hang yourself and kick the, you know, tie a noose to you know, to the roof, put it around your neck, and kick the chair out from under you. You might as well just fucking hang yourself. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to play Clayfighters, I recommend picking it up for Super Nintendo. It's probably your best bet, and probably get it for dirt cheap too. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, somewhat of an obscure game. Like, you don't see it a lot getting put into like, you know, thrift shops or pawn shops and stuff like that. But you know, it doesn't command the outrageous price like some games on Earthbound. But yeah, you know. So anyways, I have been the Retro Nerd, and this has been another episode of It's Clobberin' Time! And remember, keep clobbering on, keep winning the fights. Retro Nerd out.
Wins the battle. Yeah. Bunker wins the battle.
I told you I'd win.
Bunker wins the battle.
I told you I'd win.